Yeah, I know, I'm the millionth person talking about this situation, but how can I help myself? I'm an addict, and my drug of choice is silliness. Goofy stories are the spaghetti, and I'm the meatball. I can't resist. So, many of you have probably already seen the biggest YouTube live streamer, IShowSpeed, just had a bit of a whoops-a-daisy moment on stream. He was playing Five Nights at Freddy's and Chica jump-scared him, and his penis fell out of his shorts. Now you might be asking yourself, how is this possible? What kind of paranormal activity took place here? Did Chica crawl out of the screen and pull his dick out for him on camera? Like, how did this go wrong? What a weird response to fear, to expose yourself after you get frightened. I know Five Nights at Freddy's fandom can get a little wild, but I mean, this is next level. So what exactly happened? Well, IShowSpeed was playing a Five Nights at Freddy's game, and Chica gave him a spook, said, "Boo!" And in response to the jump scare, Speed stood up, saying that he wanted to fuck Chica, and he was thrusting at the camera. One thing led to another, and then bang, penis. So, as you can imagine, this was a pretty embarrassing moment that, of course, blew up online. More like I show meat, am I right? This situation could lead to an extended vacation from YouTube streaming because nudity is against their rules, but there's a chance that they don't enforce it super strict here since it was an accident. They have been somewhat loosey-goosey on these rules in the past. Like, even just a month ago, there was a channel that blew up thanks to a viral video they made of a guy naring his butthole. Just full asshole on display, no censorship, nothing like that. It's just his brown balloon knot getting nared. And it was totally fine, still on the platform. And that's thanks to their educational content override policy where you can have things like a chocolate starfish getting de-haired without censorship, and it's okay because there's educational context around it. Though in this case, with the IShowSpeed cock situation, I don't exactly know what argument you'd make for it being educational unless it's like this is educational because it demonstrates how not to react to a jump scare, I guess. I don't know. But since it's accidental, they might have some flexibility on not, like, banning him for it outright. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens with it, but I don't think this is going to end up with, like, the termination of his account or anything. But he may get some kind of community guideline strike which would prevent him from streaming for a certain period of time. And to think this whole situation could have been avoided if he just wore underwear. This isn't a segue into an ad or anything like that. I was just thinking to myself, when was the last time I wore pants without underwear? And it's been so long. I'm 29 years old now, so I've started to get those old man nuts that hang real low and just bounce around chaotically. So if they're not supported by underpants, those bastards will just be swinging around like they're playing a game of tetherball with each other. My testicles will just be going hog wild down there, and it doesn't feel great. So I couldn't even imagine myself, like, jumping around and being active without undergarments on. I would injure myself very quickly. Now, of course, when it comes to on-stream wiener moments, the great dark side Phil always comes up, because DSP has one of the most iconic stream clips of all time where he didn't realize he was live and then started masturbating. But you couldn't see any shaft or anything. The schlong was still left to the imagination. He did finish. He tilts his head back in ecstasy as he finishes, but you never saw anything. In this case, he actually does just have his entire cock out on screen for a moment. He flashed the entire screen. So it's definitely more extreme than the Dark Side Phil event. And the whole thing has obviously led to a lot of discussion around, like, what's going to happen next, because clearly this is a violation of rules, but it also appears like it was an accident. So how harsh is the punishment going to be? And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see there. It does seem accidental. I think he wanted to have, like, an over-the-top overreaction to jump scares that a lot of streamers and YouTubers do, and he just went too far with it, leading to just this disastrous wardrobe malfunction moment. Now, a lot of people have also started saying that, you know, maybe this was a calculated plan and he's about to announce his signing with Kick now that he can't stream on YouTube, assuming he does get a strike for this. And I have to say, that's a pretty interesting theory, because I don't think this was a premeditated scheme. He didn't pull his cock out and start dangling it in front of the webcam like he was giving a puppet show or anything like that. It does seem like it was unintentional, the result of overreacting to a jump scare. I don't see this as like a, you know, maybe a grand departure from YouTube streaming where he's like, you know what? It's time I ride off into the sunset. I'm kind of tired of streaming. I'm going to retire the jersey number here. We're done. But I want to go out with a triumphant bang, an exit no one will see coming. Like, I don't think he came in here to try and subvert viewers' expectations like it was Game of Thrones Season 8 here with a fucking penis jump scare. Like, I don't think this was a plan. If it was, this could lead to, like, huge trouble for him, actually, I would imagine. He knows his audience skews on the much younger side of things. A lot of the IShowSpeed audience is young, and a lot of those kids were probably watching this stream, especially considering it's Five Nights at Freddy's, which is predominantly a kid's property that they really resonate with. So I don't think the idea would have crossed his mind like, good content would be exposing myself in front of all of these viewers, many of which are minors. Like, I highly doubt that was a thought that crossed his mind. Now, of course, the fact that it still happened is awful, but I just really don't think it was a plan. Of course, the overreaction to the jump scare is a plan. Like, that was definitely something he decided he was going to do with, like, going crazy about the jump scare. But everything that happened after that, I don't think was some kind of calculated plot. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. That's really about it. See ya.